No. Mayday! Come in! If anyone can hear me, my starship has been pulled into the anomaly. I find myself in a strange new world. It is a world with no sun, no stars. It is a world of anime. Comics. Here we go! Gaming. Movie. This world is the Rogue Planets. With your host, the Fat Mantis HD.
Hello and welcome to Rogue Planet. I am, of course, the Fat Mantis. If I'm able to speak tonight, sorry for the little technical difficulties there. Either I'm getting old or stupid. It's one of those two. Welcome in to everyone here. Who's up here in those comments? We got Rogue Radio, and we got Leanna Abreu. Yeah, it's Lizzie Lou. Haven't seen Lizzie Lou in forever. You guys can tell me how much you love me or how much you love my audios down in the chat. I just dozed myself. I just doxed myself. It's all good, Lizzie Lou. Thank you for stopping in to Rogue Planet. Yeah, so Nigel Trotter, what is up? Holler at your boy. That's right. You know, these lights make me look like I'm just gonna say it, like a white supremacist. Just give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. I hope you are all doing so lovely. It's always good to have all of you guys here. Hey, you remember me? Of course I remember you. How could I not remember Lizzie Lou? Spoon, those were the days, weren't they? So yes, of course, I am the Fat Mantis. We're here at Ina Call-In Show. So you're gonna have the opportunity to call me either on Instagram or on Discord. And if nobody calls in, then I'll just keep ranting and raving until there's nothing to talk about left. And I have to apologize because I'm speaking with a holes in my mouth. Where'd he go? I'm here. Don't worry. So I was betrayed by somebody I love tonight. Came home. Or so my mother's like, here, I made dinner. And I looked at it and I said, I don't even want dinner right now. It was one of those days. I just wanted to get to streaming. I was thinking of starting early. I said, you know what? I should cut straight to drinking. Forget dinner. Dinner's like the extra meal, if you think about it, right? She had this mashed up beef, like ground beef, and apparently she put all these spices in it. And I ate it, and after eating it, my throat just felt like it was on fire, and I just kept coughing. I don't know what that is. It's like she was trying to sabotage my stream or something. Or this could all be in my head. Hey, hope everyone is doing well. Hello, Dragon Lady. How are you? I was merely adjusting the lights. I thought I had way too much light on me. I was really getting super light on there. But ultimately, obviously, my dear mother, hopefully she was not actually trying to sabotage her beautiful son. That would be ridiculous, right? Yeah, it was a spice bomb. But how are you doing? Remember, I urge you all, anyone viewing this right now, I would love it if you like this video, subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and stay lively in the chat, or leave me a spicy comment. Lizzie Loot, so great to have you back in the scene, and of course, little Dragon Lady, so glad that you're here. Dragon Lady says, "I'm pissed." What's up? What's up? Talk to me. Basically, you're here with Dr. Mantis, and Dr. Mantis is going to solve all your problems. Who has some advice they need? Now, I can already predict it, Dragon Lady. I can already predict it. The answer is break up with him. Wherever this is going, just break up with him. We all know that's what needs to be done. What's the topic for the call-in? It can be any topic in entertainment you want. I recently just did a pretty popular short, which was about Tekashi 6ix9ine getting his ass beat in a Florida, LA gym. We could talk about that, or we could talk about Marvel and all the rumored changes that are going on since the Ant-Man flop and debacle, or we could talk about all the drama going on in DC, or we could talk about whatever show you want. I don't care if you want to talk about Days of Our Lives. That's right. The Mantis knows what Days of Our Lives is. You can talk about anything. As long as we keep the topic flowing, I hope you're all having a beautiful, beautiful night. I just not 2 hours ago watched John Wick 4. It was amazing. You do not understand what that means to me, Nigel. I love hearing that. I was scared. I saw an early review and somebody was like giving it like whatever reviews. And, obviously at any point in a franchise could be the last point of a franchise. The last point of in a franchise when the franchise is good. So I was like worried for a second there. But at the end of the day, more people are saying it's good. I think most people are saying it's good. I mean, that is a franchise. And that would be a horrible franchise to lose in the epic battle scheme of it all, right? Oh, man, I wish I knew about entertainment. Lizzie Lou, you must have something you want to talk about. I mean, anything. I have a few shows I like, but I haven't been able to keep up with the times. I'm so sad. So, Lizzie, what you been up to? You can also call in just to say hi. That works too. He's smoking crack. It was quality action all the way through. Oh my God, that's it. I got to see this immediately. I'm working all the way till Sunday, so I guess immediately is a figurative thing. Bro needs some milk to nullify the spice in his throat. Damn, is it really that clear? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make Rogue Planet a little more freeform, where we can just talk about anything that we want to. All right, I want to volunteer as tribute. Okay, Lizzie, you can actually call me up on Discord if you want. Are you, dare I say it, are we still Discord friends? I hope we are. Oh, I watch Days too. Brady and Nicole are my favorite soap couple, says Nigel. Do we call in on Rogue Planet? No, as my personal account. You just call me. Are you still in Discord, Lizzie? That's the question. Let me see. I think you were just Lizzie, right? I have 0 friends called Lizzie. Or it can be Instagram. Are we Instagram buddies? I'm sorry if this is taking too long, guys. I'm just looking for Lizzie. Lizzie Lovebug? No, you weren't Lizzie Lovebug, were you? I'm gonna have to have something to go on. Oh, Lizzie Lou number 70. Oh, maybe I shouldn't dox you like that. You don't want weirdos calling you, do you? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. Where are you? Why is the audio not going on? Hello?
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 Let me know if I need to adjust anything.
Oh, no, you sound amazing. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
I hope everybody at home can hear Lizzie Lou, who's calling me up on Discord. But yeah, how are you? So what is new?
What is new? I am let me see. So I am a travel agent now.
Oh,
So
I love
work
it.
for cruise lines.
How's that
So if
going?
you ever consider going on a cruise, let me know. I do photography I'm planning on doing it as a side business. So that's happening. Very excited. I just got a brand new lens. Nothing crazy, just like it's a good starter lens. I don't know if you know anything about cameras, but it's a 50 millimeter. It's got a fixed aperture, which is good for low lighting because I take photos for a church.
Yo, so you do real photography, none of this joke stuff with the camera, right?
Yeah, for real. I can
Megapixels
send you
aren't in
some
your
pictures real quick.
vocabulary.
Huh?
Megapixels aren't in your vocabulary.
Mega- Megapixels on like the sensor for the lenses, I know a little bit about, but I don't depend on them if that's what you mean.
Okay, yeah,
Like
no, that's awesome.
not uh, I'm not hot over the specs of cameras and like saying one is better over the other, and you need to like
No, you don't
not
want
one
you
of
don't
that.
want to be one of those snobs. You don't want to be a camera snob. No one wants to talk to you at a party if you're a camera snob or anything snob, right? You know when like you're audio snob and you're like playing something and they're like, you call those speakers, and they start like insulting your speakers or something.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear from that person. This is amazing. I love all these great changes. I didn't know. Is photography new in your life?
No, I've been doing photography for years. Like since I was a kid, I was the designated family photographer. I enjoyed just taking photos for fun. Like one time I went out in my backyard and I spent like 2 hours, and the grass had been cut like 3 days ago. I spent 2 hours just with a Samsung a little phone. It was like one of the newer Galaxies, and I came back and like the storage was almost half full from all the photos I took.
Oh,
And
that's
then I
all.
spent the next hour just editing them and cropping them and making them look prettier. But yeah, like that's how I just think it's fun. And I've never thought I was actually like particularly good at it. It was just something I did, and then I got in this church and they needed some more photographers for their team, and because there's only one lady, and she's like, well, I said, all right, I have a camera. She's like, oh, sweet. If you want to participate, go for it. Like, and I'm like, with no experience, like I don't need to be doing an interview. You don't want to see a portfolio. You just like, she's like, no, just do it. Like,
Yo, so
we can
Nigel
figure it out.
Trotter says so yearbook stuff.
Not yearbook stuff. It's my yearbook stuff. Like my intro to photography was more like family portraits or taking vacation pictures or just items around like buildings or the flowers. Like it was very cringe in the beginning, but I slowly got better and just didn't really know exactly how I was getting better. I just kind of learned to tell when something was good and when something was intricate, and how to make more or better composed photos.
I
And
love it. I love it. This is amazing.
yeah, it was great. It was so cool to discover that I was like, I actually, I have something here. I have a talent that I've an untapped talent that I'm
Have
not
you
able
ever,
to
you don't think of
use.
yourself as an untalented person?
Well, I way, right? Like I
What?
just thought it was pretty normal, like moderate. Like I didn't think I was, and I certainly don't think I'm like fantacular, but I definitely am giving myself a lot more
Well,
credit than I
I
give
think you're fantacular. Absolutely. Lady,
people
welcome
tattoo.
in. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're amazing. Or I don't know how to make up words like you do. I'll work on that. Have
I'm
you been
trying
doing?
to find my other microphone for this so we can get some better quality audio for
Oh, I
your
mean, you
stream.
sound good. You sound pretty good. The question I have for you is: have you been still doing audio, or not audio, but any content creation?
Outside of photography, I started back up on Spoon, our original home. The
Right.
um, very interesting app. Lots of history there.
Right. I
And
think we all
I
have.
think I'm gonna move away from there. I want to maybe try doing a podcast on Twitch. Um, and I've been brainstorming exactly what the podcast would be about and what I would discuss. And I've always wanted to do it since starting on Spoon. I wanted to do something more serious, and then drama happened, and I got off the app, and so
Well,
I just
here's the problem that
dropped
here's the
it.
thing that I think. I feel personally, Spoon is the type of app that brings drama, and I feel like I don't get drama on Twitch. I don't get any
Mm,
of that. Now, it's true you meet less people. You certainly run into less people. But I feel like the way Spoon is like small, it's communal. It feels like high school again, and therefore people are gossiping.
yeah.
People are clicking up. It becomes click against click. It's like not healthy.
It's very much high school. People thrive on the drama. If there isn't some gossip happening, nobody's talking. It's like it's very odd. It's an odd place. And then if you try to, direct some more serious conversation, you don't really get a lot of traffic
Right.
on your streams. So
If you're just a
yeah,
regular old Joe.
like I'm just trying to have a good time, y'all. Like I'm not about that life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Me neither. And so you didn't get involved in TikTok, did you?
I actually did. I did a little bit of TikTok, and nothing. Again, nothing spectacular happened. I didn't like go viral overnight, although I might have and just didn't know
Like
because I haven't been on there for so long.
yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. I take massive breaks from it, but you realize we may all have to take one super break, right?
One super what?
Super break. You heard what they're the government is having hearings right now
About
New America to ban TikTok.
oh yeah, I've been hearing about that. I remember that was happening back in like 2020. Was when Trump was in office was the first talks I've ever heard about it. Now it seems like they're really getting serious with that.
Nigel says neither is Takashi about that life. I don't know. I think he's all about that life. I think he loves the drama because he's always been a dramatic. Yeah, 6ix9ine has always been a dramatic motherfucker, right? Lizzie,
I don't know.
oh, are you not a Takashi fan, or you don't know about his exploits?
I think isn't Takashi from? Oh, please don't hate me, but is he from Naruto? Is that where that's from? That
No,
name?
no,
I
no.
feel like.
Well,
Or is that
I don't know what
Kikuchi?
the original name is from, but we're talking about the rapper right now.
Oh well, damn.
Yeah.
So off.
Oh, okay. Yo, the rapper just got his ass beat in a Florida gym. And
Oh
somebody
my
put it
god.
online. It went viral, like a video of him getting his ass beat. He got jumped basically in a men's room.
Oh, because
Uh,
it provoked? Like, did he say
Nobody knows
something
what
to the
started,
wrong
and
person?
he's been
Oh, okay.
an unpopular figure since he actually narked on his crew, and then he did a little bit of jail time, but they're all like locked up. They're gone.
Oh,
And so
okay.
he
I think I
got
know
out
who
of
you're talking about.
yeah, and he got out of prison, and so people, like, a lot of people are just gunning for him,
Yeah.
But Nigel says he doesn't think he's about that life. I think he is about that drama life.
he jumped ship. He was like, y'all are on your own. I am going to go live my best life. Y'all figure it out.
Yo, that's grimy.
Every man for himself.
Yo, that is grimy though. They made like his crew, like he even narked on people who gave him a record deal. I don't know, man.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm just talking shit. What up, Rebuke TV? Nigel says, I wish Lizzie would have taken the photo. It was hysterical.
Would have taken what photo?
Because in the bathroom everyone had cameras out. Like, you know, people watching him get his ass beat were filming it.
Oh.
And that's the saddest part. It's not just that he got his ass beat, it's that there's a video of it.
Yeah.
Of him on the ground and I'm talking shit. And it was madness. It was madness, I say.
There's a whole conversation there for that. It's probably not relevant for this stream, but yeah, that's probably one of my greatest fears is like being in a situation where somebody could have helped, but they'd rather get the views.
Oh yeah, that is the fun. And you know what's funny? One of the videos, the most famous of the videos that we're talking about right now, he's literally saying, he's like, now I'm gonna be famous, yo. The guy filming is saying that. And so he, instead of helping him out, he's filming this rapper get his ass kicked, hoping it makes him famous. It's a fucked up world we live in. Rebuke TV in the chat says, man, is that Lizzie Lou?
It is alive and well.
Rebuke says the wages of sin, and his sin will leave him there. Yes, absolutely.
Some people call it karma. Some people say you reap what you sow. It is a law of the universe that we exist in. You put out that kind of energy, you're gonna get it back.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I just think it's interesting how people often think that like they can do something like, for instance, narc on their entire crew and just live a normal life after that, and they don't think there's going to be like their whole, like he thinks he can just go to a gym by himself and do squats or whatever the fuck this guy does. Right. And so that's obviously after you do something like that, you can't just do squats anymore
at the gym. Right. Especially now with the world that we live in, with social media. It's like maybe there was a time like the mafia, right? Some people used to snitch and then like move across the country and never were heard from again and live a normal life or something like that. Some of them had to leave the country, but this is not the world for that.
Right. Well, here's what I'm saying. It would make sense if Tekashi did that, but he's a guy with rainbow hair, tattoos literally on his face. Like, where's he gonna go? And so he thought that he could just go back to being a rich guy. He's just like, whatever, I'm a rapper, my life's good. Nigel says, don't help him. Let rainbow hair taste the rainbow.
Let rainbow hair taste the rainbow.
Because Tekashi has rainbow hair.
I just looked up a picture of him because I just to understand better who it is that we're talking about.
Yeah, that guy can't live in the Midwest like a normal dude. Like he can't just be like a normal dude at this point. But so what else are you into? What else are you getting into, like in terms of like media, entertainment, anything?
No, I've been mainly so the only thing is like media is this church that I am a part of. I'm part of the creative team, so I'm helping build their social media platform. They've been growing so rapidly that they have to like last minute like build this creative team overnight, and I get to be a part of that. So I've been looking a lot into that. As a form of media, in terms of like shows or entertainment, I have heard of the John Wick movie. I remember when the first 2 came out. I didn't watch the 3rd one, and I haven't obviously watched the 4th one. I am a fan of John Wick. I grew up watching a lot of action movies, oddly enough. If anybody doesn't know, like I grew up in a really sheltered household. Like magic movies, Harry Potter, wasn't allowed to watch that. Disney Channel banned, anything that had any sort of witchcraft was not allowed. But like action movies with blood and gore and shooting, like we used to call them shoot 'em up movies.
Yeah, I
That
mean
was
they are
totally
shoot 'em
okay.
up movies. Logie Bear, welcome in. Thank you for the bits over on Twitch. It means a lot to me, brother. He says Disney is evil. Yeah, honestly, here's what it is. I love the Disney Channel, but I also hate them. And so your parents, Harry Potter's not going to hurt you. Disney Channel's going to fuck you up good. Like the
Disney Channel was a whole other world,
yeah,
man.
it was making young hoes out of all these girls. It was messed up.
Yeah.
Yo,
Like
do you
I've kept up with the Marvel movies for sure.
okay? Did you
Love
see Ant-Man?
Marvel. The new Ant-Man?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I have not heard good things, and that's kind of I don't know if I'm ever actually I'm gonna inevitably get around to watching it, but I don't mind the spoilers because I've already spoiled it for myself. So
Well, yeah, at a
we're
certain
good.
point, that's the problem with the internet. Like, you have to decide whether you're going early or just accept the spoilers. Because I don't know how
Yeah,
long
it's like,
someone thinks they can dodge spoilers for. So Nigel says, love the Disney Channel, don't like Disney himself. I feel that. Disney Channel is where the mouse groom their children actors to do their bidding as adults in life. It's kind of sad but true. Like, you heard about Amanda Bynes? Oh, you might not know her, right? Lizzie? I don't know if we're losing audio from Lizzie. Hopefully she'll get that back. But I don't know if you guys heard about Amanda Bynes, and she's actually a Nickelodeon creation. I'm sorry that I'm connecting her to Disney, but it's the same premise. She's a child actor on Nickelodeon. The other day, she's naked, wandering the streets. A woman comes to help her, and it turned out she was having some sort of psychotic breakdown, like episode. And so she's in a psych ward right now. Amanda Bynes, you remember young Amanda? Yeah, Nickelodeon did the same. And I don't know if you guys know about Dan Schneider, the producer at the time. He was a horrible. He was basically a Me Too guy. He was the who's that evil guy who assaults women? Oh damn! It's that horrible producer, Harvey Weinstein. So Dan Snyder is the Harvey Weinstein, or was the Harvey Weinstein of the young adult space, and so he was a major producer on Nickelodeon, and this is like the golden age of Nickelodeon. This is when like just all these shows, like everything from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and beyond, Good Burger, all this stuff. He was a producer there, and he was known to get these kids liquored up and bring them to parties where messed up things would happen. And so, a young actress, I forget her name.
hello?
Oh, Lizzie, there you are.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I just switched to my laptop.
Okay.
And then my Wi-Fi blinked out, and so now I'm here. Making it work.
Yeah, you actually
Um,
sound better right now. Was that on purpose?
yeah, I actually again into the podcasting thing. I have a mic specific for that.
Mhm.
I'm kind of holding it instead of it being on a stand, but we're working with it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's amazing. I love it. Hold up says, yeah, so sad when he's talking about the Nickelodeon kids. What happened to these kids? Nickelodeon did the same. The golden
Who's
age of
the
Nick was built
one?
in the darkness of shadows, he says. Lainey says, poor Amanda, she's been having issues. Yeah. And so I forget the name of the actress, but there was an actress. I think she gave up acting at this point, but she wrote a tell-all book about stuff that happened to her on
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, and it's called what is it? I'm glad my
I'm
mother
glad my
died.
mom died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm been meaning to buy her book, but I have listened to her podcasts or interviews. Um, and they are incredible. Just the things that her mom did, the things that her mom put her through, the things that happened on set. The whole thing is pretty wild. She was the one who played Sam in iCarly. I
Right.
don't remember his name.
Right. That's absolutely horrible to hear. You know what I mean? That's absolutely horrible to hear. And I guess her mother was one of those kind of, what do they call, a dance mom, where she's trying to force celebrityism on her daughter. She's willing to sell her daughter, or like physically and her soul, just to make her famous, right?
Yeah.
And that's some devil stuff right there, man. Don't even get me started on that. Logie Beer said, "Oh, here." Dragon Lady says, "How do we call in? I'm upset. I need to vent." Dragon Lady, we'll let you call in right after Lizzie, because I probably can only field one at a time. What's wrong? Hold Up says, "What's wrong, Dragon? Don't worry, she's going to tell us on air in just a moment." You are, of course, here with the Fat Mantis and Rogue Planet and my super supreme call-in show.
Have you, just to change gears into more entertainment, because one of the shows that I've enjoyed and just discovered, way past its peak prime, but it's called Suits. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh, well, isn't that the one that Meghan Markle was on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I say I just hate her character in this?
I've never seen an episode. Like, I can't. I know it was, what was it? It was on TBS. No, it was on USA, right?
Yeah, it was on USA. Just got into it. I'm on like season 3. It's about lawyers doing their thing, corporate lawyers,
and it's
like,
worth a view.
I like it. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy it because they're not just. It's different from other. Like I don't know. I watch a lot of like law enforcement lawyer shows. I love the old ones. Like, The West Wing is not an old one, but gosh, what was the name of it?
But you like Westwood? You like West Wing?
The West Wing, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that show.
But do you like? I take it you like Law and Order and SVU and stuff.
I was okay with Law and Order. It was interesting. The Special Victims Unit show was, I couldn't get into it. It was very touched a nerve or two watching that one.
Absolutely. Like I can't.
I avoided it. I can't remember the name of the 2 other lawyer shows. They were older. They're from like the 1990s when they came out, in the 80s, and they were really good. I enjoyed them.
Was one Law? No, not Law and L.A. Law. I'm trying to think of old. You know what?
That one. I think I might have seen it on the thing. Oh, I loved NCIS. My mom has watched that probably 6 times. Our household's been put through it probably 6 times, because my mom loves it so much. And
okay, really so cool. I pulled up a thing, the top 10 lawyer shows of the 90s. Of course, they have Special Victims Unit, Law and Order, Night Court, Walker, Texas Ranger. That's not a. What about The Practice? Is it The Practice?
Yes, one of them's The Practice.
What about Jag?
No.
What else? There's LA Law.
I'm about to pull up my Netflix because I just.
Ally McBeal. Anyone? No.
Ally the what?
Ally McBeal.
No.
Yeah, that was a pretty popular in the 90s, where she was like a single female lawyer trying to have it all. You know.
One of the Netflix came out with one called the Lincoln Lawyer. That one was interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? That got amazing ratings. People were watching the crap out of it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it, having not even seen it, but I just think people like say great things about it.
You know the one that I watched How to Get Away with Murder, and I couldn't get past the first season. I wanted to watch the first season just to give it a good shot because I was hoping it would get better. I don't know why that show was popular.
So I gotta say, I loved season 1, but by season 2, it gets so ridiculous. It's just not even believable anymore. You know what I mean? Like every season, they're covering up a different murder, and I'm like, how many times is this gonna happen to a bunch of law students? Right?
You know, I assumed what it was teaching the college students how to get people they knew were guilty of murder out of it. I didn't know it was that they themselves.
Well, that's the point. That's the irony. That's the irony. They're going to school to be like officers of a court and like protect this concept of law and order and protecting all this stuff. And on the side, they accidentally killed somebody.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that
it's a
first
perfect
season was a
title for
roller
a show,
coaster.
right? It's a perfect title.
It was a good. You know, the first season was it was interesting. Kind I didn't like the character develop, like the way that they revealed certain things were great, but there were some characters that I was like they could have done a little bit more with this person. And I forget the name of the kid, but he's like the only black one in the group. But
Oh,
he was
Black Harry Potter.
yeah, I don't remember his name, but
People
he was
nicknamed him the Black Harry Potter because he yeah,
wow.
because he looks like a Black Harry Potter, doesn't he? When he wears his glasses, he looks like.
I guess he could have been part of the Hogwarts student body.
Yeah, yeah. Nigel Trotter is a huge fan of Suits, and he says he loves it. Logie Bear says he's all prepped and ready to go for John Wick tomorrow. Dragon Lady loves NCIS as does Lainey. Dragon Lady's asking if you watch Chicago PD.
I watched a little bit of Chicago PD. I also didn't like it. I didn't like the leader. I didn't like his leadership skills, and I was just like, "This is terrible. Like this is such a bad situation." Um, he was just like, he was just because okay. So some of the plot includes him crossing the line, and in the climate where we're talking about police brutality already, and
Right.
you're gonna have a reality show that's like this cop, this detective who's like gonna go and cross the line and his team is going to cover up for him and all these things, and at some point in the later seasons it catches up with him, and somebody ends up dying for it, but like this whole situation was just I didn't like it. I was like, because that again I started watching it right around that time when it was like defund the police, and then the logo with the Blue Lives Matter and that whole thing is going on. I was just like, this gives a bad rep, or we already have that situation happening. This is not. It was ill-timed.
Okay, so my favorite cop show of all time is called The Shield, and that's from the early 2000s. And that's Michael Chiklis and all those guys. It's very gritty. Very, like, they have shaky camera work, and it's like you're almost like a documentary crew is with a thing. And the premise is they're a group of corrupt cops. And the thing I love about it is that it's just very realistic. They make like realistic choices, and when you're responsible for a drug bust, and then you have you're like, I could give 2 tons of cocaine back to the city and just keep 2 bricks and make a fortune, more than I'd make in a year. Like, who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard decision to make. And so I don't really like characters when those decisions are easy for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like this is just gonna be a one and done. Like we're not like they're the reality of human nature and just the situation, the gravity is not portrayed by the actor.
Right.
And it's easy.
Logie Bear says, I have a conspiracy that Dick Wolf, for those who don't know, he's the king of Law and Order. He's the producer of all those shows. Is the president of the secret pedo cannibal society, and his Law and Order series was his trophy case for his crimes. Well, I mean, that show SVU, like, it like goes there, and it's just like it's. I can't really watch it. I agree with you, Lizzie. It's so dark that it kind of turns me off. Right?
Yeah,
It's just too dark.
I was at my grandparents' house one day, and it was like they're in Massachusetts, and they have like a cable TV show, and so we go in. We went to play it, the TV, and one of them was like live PD. Discovered that whole thing. That was kind of cool and entertaining to watch. Live PD.
What is live PD?
It's literally they will stream the body cams of officers,
like in the area.
Yeah, and well, not just in Massachusetts, but in different parts of the country. In Texas, they did some in California. They did some in different cities in the East Coast, and they'll go and live stream different busts that they're doing. If they're doing uh, car chases, if they are chasing people, or and it's just entertaining because the things that happen when the moon comes up is just it's
Uh,
so wild.
yeah, I believe it. I
Like
totally believe it.
one time this lady, she had some contraband on her person. She took off from the police stripped naked and then said she was just getting done with having sex at that moment. I'm like, okay.
Hold Up
And
says Chicago PD is almost the same show as The Shield. Oh, okay. So yeah, corrupt cops, right?
yeah, corrupt
Uh,
cops. So like had somebody say like 911 was
oh yeah,
good.
911. It was very popular. People really like that one, right?
Um
Both Logie and Laney, and of course Hold Up, all seem to love The Shield. Lady,
have
Dragon Lady
you
says, I've never watched it, just suggesting it, Lady.
oh, have you
Yeah,
heard
I
of
do.
Flashpoint?
Is that where like people wake up and they like don't have a memory?
No, it was about the SWAT team. There was a SWAT team.
Oh, then I'm way off. I don't.
Oh yeah,
That's why I was like,
yeah.
isn't that like a some?
Flashpoint. Oh yeah, Flashpoint. It does sound like an alternate timeline like
Yeah, yeah,
situation.
yeah. Probably thinking of
um,
like the Flash or something, but
yeah, the
uh,
Flash had an episodes part series thingy where there was like part one, part two, part three, and it was like I think one of them they cross plat. No, what is it called when they cross?
dimensions or something.
Yeah, they went into like Supergirl's dimension and then came out, and one of them I think was called Flashpoint. And then he like created an alternate timeline and stuff. Loved the Flash, by the way. I will. I have my critiques. I wish Alan wasn't so like such a guppy sometimes.
But isn't that what makes him lovable?
You can be lovable, but sometimes I thought the sugar was just a little too much. It was a little too sweet sometimes, and
I
we
think the
didn't
show
need all
got
that
cheesy.
emotion.
I think the show had like it just had a lot of cheesy moments, right? And like kind of like, but in general, it has some. It is. I do love the Flash. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah, I
Hold up.
liked it. I'm not knocking it. I overall enjoy it. There's just some times where I was like, man, I wish it just wasn't so much sweetness. Because the encouragement and the support of the team was great, and I love the cringe. I liked Cisco and his whole situation that he his character and like what he adds to the team. I just
Yeah,
didn't. Sometimes it was just too emotional.
yeah,
Like they'd get stuck on those emotional moments.
yeah.
Uh, so that was it. That was the only thing. But why would it say? Oh, Flashpoint, right? So that's the SWAT team that came out in like the early 2000s. I want to say 2010
Mhm.
ish is when it ended. Um, but the whole premise was where there's a hostage situation, a jumper, a bank robber, a kidnapping, a it was just a different aspect of law enforcement that we um, don't really see too much of. You got the
Okay.
lawyers, and we got the police department and detectives, but we never see the SWAT team. So that was cool.
Oh, that's cool. I might check that out. Hold Up says the Shield had the perfect ending. Logie Bear says, 50% of the people who watch are creepers vicariously living through that show. He's talking about SVU. I've that has crossed my mind before. Lainey says,
Ah,
Dragon Lady, watch it. Dragon Lady says no. Lady
shit.
says, laugh out loud. Okay. Don't take my suggestion. It's cool. Nigel says, I can't watch 911 anymore. That Father's Day episode where the guy gets cut in half in a motorcycle accident really messed me up.
Well, thank you for the spoiler, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I imagine some of the shows like especially the special victims unit, so FVO. Um,
Oh,
some of those episodes, I wouldn't be surprised if some people were living vicariously through the show, and I would prefer that over them actually going out and committing these acts, right? But I think it also just offers a lot of support maybe for other people. It's like, oh, like this is something that would qualify, like probably for people who went through it or know people who went through it. It's like they get to see that process and they probably may relate to it. I'm just worried for like if you didn't know and then you watch an episode and you're like, oh, I didn't know that qualified. Like one of my college friends, at the time when I was going to college, like I mentioned, like we were talking about cop shows and she brought it up and she was like, yeah, so that's how I discovered that I went through something. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry that happened.
Existence is real. You know what I mean? Existence is freaking real. Lainey says, Nigel, I worked with a nurse who actually worked on a guy that happened to. Cut him in half, decapitated.
You know what I've like low-key watched on the side is the videos in the stories of people who have either been decapitated or killed at amusement parks.
I'm laughing, but it's only because I'm so scared and sickened. So check that. When I was in college, somebody from a room down the hall, like we lived in a suite, so we're hanging out, me and my suite mates, and this kid comes by. He's a friend of ours. He's just like, yo, guys, I want to show you something, and we just follow him. And so he was watching on YouTube. What was it? Something called Faces of Death, where it's just a collection of videos of messed up ways people die. And I don't know what I'm about to watch. And he hits play. He says, check this out. He just hits play on his TV.
No disclaimer?
Yeah, no, I was not prepared. And I remember it was like a Sunday morning. It was like 10 a.m. We're all just like, hey,
bro was traumatized. He is scarred.
And what it is it's a camera at the crossing of a train crossing, right? And there's a bunch of people and the red light comes and everybody stops, and a man and a woman, they both start running. They're trying to outrun the train to run across, right? And the man stops and the woman doesn't. And I get to see her explode. And I remember everyone was laughing in the room, but I was just staring, and it was like, what the fuck did I just see? And everyone thought it was so funny. And I remember it haunted me. And I was scared to tell my friends because I didn't want to look like a pussy. But at night, I like sit in bed and I'm like, I can't believe I just saw that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that stuff is real, man.
Yeah, no. I've definitely had my share of watching accidents happen, but I have purposefully avoided the train accidents because I just
yeah.
I remember sitting in driving school, and they're like, a car going up to a train is like a car going up to an empty soda can.
Right.
It's like, I'll just stay away from those.
You ain't gonna win that. You are not gonna win that.
Yeah, so I'm completely believe you that this person just was like vaporized by the just sheer.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what a train hitting a woman would look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigel says, geez, he's talking about the episode. He called his son in his final moments, and that was it was too far for me. I can't risk going back to that show and seeing something that's sad again. Oh my God. Now I'm sad. But it's all right. Well, we've seen
that's
that.
Like the Grey's Anatomy type nonsense where they're like having these really critical moments with these patients that are near death or dying. Yeah. Grey's Anatomy was another thing too.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. I mean, I didn't mess with Grey's Anatomy, but I've heard stories. Dragon Lady says, "Oh my God, if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough." Sorry, no sympathy from me, says Dragon Lady.
So like dumb how?
The lady trying to run across the tracks of an oncoming train.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I don't know why you would try to do that. I'm wondering, like, the miscommunication that happened where she's like, "Oh, I thought we were going across," and he's like, "No, we weren't."
It's what's messed up is if you when you watch it, it looks like she's following his lead, and then he stops. He decides to be like, "I'm not an idiot. What am I doing?" But she just kept scurrying across, and was like, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is horrible." I imagine how he feels.
Like, you would just, wouldn't you, like, out of instinct, like, if you stop and I'm in, or if two people are walking, like, across the street and you stop and the other person keeps going, isn't your knee-jerk reaction to grab their arm and pull them back?
I mean, I feel, I mean, he's definitely gets dick points for not saving her. Like,
I don't know. I'm just like, just me, and for my life, that would have been my reaction. Would have been to try to grab that person before they ran over or ran through.
I mean, this just goes to show you guys, do not cross those fucking tracks, yo.
There's been so many unfortunate accidents with people who think that they can just ignore the railroad crossing stop car things. Like, I remember one of the I refused to watch any of the train accidents ever again, just because watching this car, like, I saw a car that went around it and then got completely, like, obliterated. So when you said that she just got like vapor, like, exploded, this car exploded like into a million little pieces. And I'm just like, I remember just thinking, like, the person in there is just gone. Like, there's nothing. And the officers and the EMTs came after and they're like, just upset because that could have been avoided. You just had to follow the signs. You didn't need to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, there was just, like, nothing to pick up to put in it just out.
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm good. But it's
but
unfortunate.
well, I
Like,
gotta
people
say,
forget
I'm probably one of the idiots that you guys would not have sympathy for. Because so basically, like, I'm a big walker. Like, I don't drive much. Like, I walk everywhere I go. And so I have to sometimes take, like, dangerous routes. Sometimes I have to walk on the shoulder of a highway to get where I'm going. And so there are times when, like, a highway has, like, a very little shoulder and I'm, like, going across and I think, I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I do this? You know?
I have also been that person. just walking, like, Louisiana doesn't have good sidewalks, so I am right there with you.
Right. You're always on the shoulder. You're like, I can walk this, whatever. It's half
And
a
then
mile.
you're there and you're like, why did I do
Why did I take this idiot risk? I feel you.
Yeah, there was one time I had that moment. Was there's, like, a little bridge thing, not
Mhm.
like across a river, just across a creek, and they had this teeny tiny little shoulder sidewalk thing, and I was walking across,
Mhm.
facing oncoming traffic as one does for safety reasons, for some odd reason,
Like a true hero.
and and I'm walking, and these cars are just zooming past me, and I'm like, if any one of them just turned the wheel a little bit, I would have no time, none, to, like, save myself. This was a dumb idea. I'd rather not know that it was coming.
Yeah, you basically hope you get disintegrated too, so that you don't actually feel. Yeah.
I hope it's instant.
Lady's
Yeah.
judging me. She's like, Mantis. Dragon Lady says, you are not faster than a train. The train is going to win every time. Of course. But
Yeah. But, like, it's more of, it just looks so slow when it's coming.
yeah.
You really misjudge the speed of that because it's such a big object. But there's something about the way it looks on the train, on the track,
Mhm.
and the dimensions of a train that just makes it look like it's not moving as quickly as it actually is. And there's so many people that will say that it's like one moment it's not, it looks like it's 50, like a mile away, and then you get to get around the bar and it's like right there now, and you don't have time.
Yo, Nigel Trotter says even Megan Hall got devastated by a train. Do you know who Megan Hall is?
Guessing by your facepalm, I'm going to assume She's some I don't know, maybe somewhere in that industry.
No, so actually, so this is going to surprise you because like when this story dropped, it was all people were talking about because it's like so ridiculous. She is a Tennessee or was a Tennessee cop who ended up sleeping
Oh,
with
is she the
every
one that
guy,
was
every
like,
officer, having a sexual relation with every
yeah, she
officer.
was married, right?
Yeah, and the sucker fool is staying with
Yo,
her.
yo. When that story dropped, bro stayed with her. He was like, I mean, I was okay with her being in an open relationship. I just didn't want her being with my buddies. Like, that's nonsense.
That's
And
oh
he's like,
my god.
it
And
was part of the agreement. The rules were not clearly communicated, apparently. But every second that story comes out, like with more details, it's just about who was involved, what happened, the text messages.
crazy,
The chief
just
got fired like the day it came out, so something really
yeah,
happened
and they fired like 8 or 9 different cops over this.
immediately.
Um,
Gone, like no explanation.
she's like she took down their careers and all this shit. And well, trust me, 2 to tango. I'm not saying these guys were innocent. Obviously, yeah, these guys shouldn't be running high speed trains on their coworker.
Yeah, she's trying to. Wasn't she trying to? She's trying to cover it up now. She's like,
She's trying to say she
I
was
was,
groomed.
I was pressured. I was groomed. Yeah, which first off, that's not.
So well, that's what it is. So we live in a world with no accountability, so people just don't want to take responsibility for anything they do. And so
like, I had a mental illness.
so yeah, it's not that she's an adult who has control, who can say no. She acts like she's a kid and she's like, oh well, I was groomed. I'm like, well, you're an adult. You can say no. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. This is not to say like for the situations where you can't say no that you should say no and like not giving room for that. But there are plenty of scenarios that have made it public where people want to pretend like they didn't have agency over the situation, or that they couldn't have made better decisions. And that is what I think I would think it's fair to say between me and Mantis. Like, that's what we're talking about.
Right. And so like for instance, I'm going to say this because I think self accountability is very, very important. And so I'll say this. An example is like addiction. Addiction is horrible. I'm sorry for anyone who has to suffer through addiction. Absolutely. However, people still need to take responsibility for their involvement in it. And so you hear addicts a lot of times, they're like, well, the booze made me. The booze made me. The booze made me. And I'm like, well, if the boozes make you cheat on your wife or wreck your cars or get arrested all the time, you as a functioning adult needs to know when to cut that off. And so I understand that it could be like, I was powerless before. I dig that. But they do need to take some responsibility for the thing they did. Right?
Right.
You know.
Oh, sidebar. No, side thing. I turned my camera on in the Discord.
I see that.
I'm looking at you through the YouTube. I don't know if you can turn yours on. Yours is a little lag on the YouTube, and it's just been bugging me. But the conversation's been good, so I just haven't.
Oh, okay.
mentioned it.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you. But what it is my camera can only be used by one of the sources, so I can't.
Yeah,
I can't turn
that's
it
why
on
I was like, I'm like, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But hi.
Hi. No, yeah, I looked in on Discord and I was like, oh, she turned her camera on. It's cool. Yeah. I love I love the lights behind you.
Thank you. Right. What was I gonna say? Oh, fun fact about addiction. You're up here on my screen.
Okay.
There is a neurobiologist I love to listen to. His name is Andrew Huberman. He has his own practice or own lab where they study the brain and all the neuro pathways and how the systems that are in place. And there was a study brought out about addiction, and you cannot call it by the medically, it is not a disease. It was a new thing that came out. It's not a disease the way that we initially thought. I know we grew up all hearing that it latches onto your brain chemicals and it changes things. And some of that's true to an extent, but the actual addiction itself is more of a habit. Like you react to those things the same way that one would react if they really enjoy playing piano, or if they enjoy, like how I like photography, or like if you have a hobby and you really like it, your brain reacts to drinking or to doing heroin or all those things, cocaine especially. It's very interesting how cocaine works. That one in particular, I would almost want to say that it's like kind of an addictive thing, only because what it does is it overwhelms your dopamine hormone. Like your tolerance goes way up, and the normal human level can't sustain that. So like that one, I understand like why it would be harder to get away from. But all that aside, like I after learning that, I'm like, even more addiction is like people have a lot more personal responsibility than they're willing to admit. And yeah, and I've definitely been like for the longest, like if booze doesn't make you do anything. After a point, like, I've definitely blacked out before, and like that's always scary. But
I'm
like
saying
I also
here's what I'm saying. Obviously, we're prone to do stupider things on booze, absolutely. But I'm saying is if it's becoming a habit where it's like destroying your life, or you, like I said, you keep getting arrested, or you get into horrible fights with your girl, maybe crossing a line or some stuff, you have to have the willpower to shut that down.
Absolutely.
And it's not like the alcohol is a genie or it's some demon that's like, drink me.
Well, Christians would deny that. They would definitely say it's a demon.
Yeah.
But the point being, like, absolutely, if you know something's a habit is causing a lot of destruction or disrupting your life or not benefiting you in any kind of way, the same way that you would have to cut off bad friends, toxic people, you needed to cut off toxic habits, and one of them is not going to be or one of their alcoholism is definitely one of those things you can learn to wean yourself off of, or just completely stop, like but taking personal responsibility for the decisions that you make. Like, sure, fine, after you get a certain point, you're just like completely belligerent and you're just going to be on autopilot, but you could have prevented yourself from getting to that point. And I don't have empathy for people who make a lot of mistakes because they're habitually drunk.
Right.
Or like consistently, right?
But yo, Lizzie, it has been great. Unfortunately, I do have to end the stream. I'm not going the full 2 hours. It was wonderful that you called. We need to make this more. We need to make this a habit.
For sure, yeah. Getting back into this space.
If we should arrange some streams together and stuff like that. Do projects and stuff. I would love to do that.
Yeah, let me know if you got any. I have a couple of ideas, but we should definitely schedule a time to talk about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really cool.
Do you have any shout outs or any plugs you want to do before we head out?
If anybody here is still on Spoon, I do occasionally stream on the on the Spoon spontaneously. Unfortunately, I don't have a set schedule, but I'll put a notice out usually, so just keep an eye out for that. But shout out to the Hold Up TV. Y'all go on his streams. He does his music streams. Lord forgive me, I don't remember the schedule, but he has a Discord channel that you can definitely check out, that he's growing. Join it.
Actually, speaking of which, him and Bex are on right now. They just started Pillow Talk.
Oh yeah,
on Spoon. Bex, if you guys want to stop in, say hi. I'm gonna stop in for like a second and say hi to them. Much love to them.
Really good content. She talks about like just women's issues, but it's one of the things I love about her is that
it gets too racy for me. Gets my blood all tingling or whatever. I'm like, damn, girl.
Yeah, she's like, I enjoy Beck. She's definitely not afraid to say her opinion, and she has a lot of good insights, and I appreciate her. So y'all check her out.
Awesome.
But outside of that,
yo, Lizzie, so good to hear from you again.
It's so nice to hear from you too. I enjoy your streams. And I'm so glad I got this. Actually, I got this notification from Steve's Discord. So another reason y'all should check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Check that out. As for me, tomorrow, Men Supporting Men is going on. That's with Derek HD and Vic Boo.
Oh, that's still going?
Yeah, we actually for a while didn't do it. And then we've come back and we do every 2 weeks. We'll do a Friday.
I love that.
So tomorrow we're doing one. Love to have you guys all aboard. Obviously notifications are going out in the Discord. And then Monday mornings, this is gonna be a new thing. I used to during like the last year, I recently stopped. I did brunch with the Fat Mantis, which was every morning.
I remember that.
Now I'm gonna just do 4 hours on Monday. Brunch is 4 hours, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's just a total hangout stream. Listening to
Nice.
music and hang out. And then,
Send me I don't know if I'm on your Discord group.
okay.
I think I just have you as a friend on there, but I'm not sure if I have your Discord group. But like, send me the link so I can join in. I loved those streams. I loved those podcasts. I thought you guys had really good insights. Y'all go check it out. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Especially if you're a girl, just to get a window into the situation, understand the opposite species.
Right.
Here.
You see that we're not all monsters. Just as men won't admit it, but we watch those women shows sometimes just to get some understanding.
With a notebook, like trying to understand.
Yeah, we're taking notes. We're like, what'd she say? Call her afterwards
to break it down.
But this has been my guest, Lizzie Lou. We talked about a little bit of everything, and I love that. I absolutely love that. But okay, you have a good night, Lizzie Lou.
You too, be safe.
Until next time, ciao for now.
Head over to Bex's stream.
Peace. And for the rest of you, be awesome. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to keep tuning in. Rogue Planet is now on Thursdays. I'm going to try to make it a little earlier so I can go longer. I'm going to try to be home by 8 o'clock so we can make this happen. But other than that, have an amazing Thursday night. Love you all. Until next time, ciao for now.